backup plan just in case this doesn't all work out the way I've planned. That's the key with visual aids. All right. In a moment, I am going to ask you to participate in a little activity with me. I'm going to change the slide to a paragraph. Your assignment is to decode what I have on the screen and write it down on your scratch piece of paper. Now, just to make it a little more challenging, rather than writing it with the hand you ordinarily write with, I'd like you to write it with your opposite hand. So if you're right-handed, use your left hand or vice versa. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to complete this activity.
You really made this challenging for me.
Maybe you can't participate.
Begin.
We begin our group in. Okay, that's in Basque.
You're about halfway there.
Within each of these scene, he calls each one as question. It's exactly the same. So the code in each call is identical. This
And
means
time's up.
that the calls are nearly alike.
Put your pens down or pencils down, as they say.
Oh, I got part of it.
This is the translated paragraph. How was that? Was that hard?
Yeah.
Did anybody get it done? No. This was a simulation that I am using today to help you understand what it might feel like to be dyslexic. October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to have you experience some of those challenges as well as learn a little bit about dyslexia. Dyslexia at its heart is a reading disability or learning disability. People with dyslexia have trouble taking the letters they see and translating those into sounds and then having those sounds come together to make words. It has no link to their intelligence otherwise. They can be very smart people. There's any number of famous people who are dyslexic. Interestingly, 20% of the world's population of humans are dyslexic. It's a higher number than you might have thought. Dyslexia is often part of a larger set of learning disabilities, although not always. The symptoms would include spelling challenges, difficulty reading, and taking a long time to do activities that might involve writing or reading. It can also impact your ability to learn a foreign language, to do math, and even to properly sequence things. We know today that dyslexia is a neurological condition. For those of us who don't have dyslexia, we are able to see letters and quickly, with the tools in our brain, be able to assemble those into sounds and words. We learn how to do that pretty rapidly as young children. For someone with dyslexia, they struggle with that. The building blocks of our English language consist of 44 phonemes. Phonemes are those sounds, the consonant sounds, long and short vowel sounds, and letters that combine together like PH to make that sound. And a dyslexic will see those, but they may not be able to translate those letters into those actual sounds. Some people think that dyslexia means seeing letters backwards or out of order, kind of like that slide I showed you earlier, or even moving on the page. And while that does happen for some dyslexics, that is actually often not the case. They see the words and letters just like we do. It's a function in their brain that doesn't pull that memory out and make it into words and sounds like our brains, those of us who are not dyslexic, would do. Dyslexia, because it's neurologic, it's not the result of too much TV. It's not the result of too many video games. It's not a byproduct of a child not spending enough time practicing reading at home. It is not particular to the English language, nor is it specific to any other spoken language. It has no favoritism in race, ethnicity, or geographic region. It can't be grown out of, and it cannot be cured. It is treatable With proper reading instruction, a dyslexic person can learn to read and be able to perform as anyone else might. It is, though, an invisible disability, we like to call it, so it's harder to recognize someone with dyslexia. You couldn't see them and necessarily know they have it, which does make diagnosing it and treating it sometimes a challenge. There's more to it than just a challenge with being able to read. There's emotional challenges as well, as you might expect. Think about how it would feel if people said to you, you know what? You could read if you just spend a little time and tried a little harder. And you know you are spending a lot of time and trying as hard as you can, and you cannot catch up. Think about that little demonstration, that example I did earlier. What if I had given you that sheet and asked you to stand up here in front of the room and read it to everyone else who all had the translated version? As they waited impatiently, chuckling while you struggled to figure out those words, how would that make you feel? Dyslexics are confronted frequently with that sense of failure and just feeling behind. It can impact their self-esteem. It's hard for them to sometimes make friends. They feel judged by their family, teachers. It can make life an ongoing challenge for them. I am not dyslexic, but I know someone who is. This smiling young boy is Hudson. He is dyslexic, and he is my 10-year-old son. When he was very young, we noticed that he had troubles reciting the alphabet, when all other kids his age could do that. As he started school, we saw that gap continue to broaden. While other children were learning to read, he continued to struggle. At the end of first grade, he was diagnosed with dyslexia. To help you understand a little bit more about the experience of dyslexia, Hudson has offered to participate in my speech as well, if we can get this to work. There we go.
And in fourth grade, I am 10, and I have dyslexia. It is hard for me to remember stuff, spell words, and read. In class, it is hard for me and nervous since if I read out loud, then I'm afraid the other kids will make fun of me since I am in fourth grade and most kids know how to read quite well. Just because I have dyslexia doesn't mean I'm not smart.
So I hope that Hudson's experience, as well as that experience I had you engage in at the beginning, has helped make you more aware of what dyslexia is and what it isn't, and what it might feel like if you were in their shoes. Thank you.